I firstly start with our questioning to Rupert Lowe, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Well, it's rare for me to start, but thank you for picking me first. Good morning, everybody. So I read this report, and all of the witnesses here today, as they were, I think they've been changed for various reasons today. Cat Little's not here, and it's been changed. I didn't realise that until just now. But I mean, they've all built the witnesses have all built their careers on driving efficiency. Now, I think you would ask a question here. Either they're not the right people to deliver the project, or the
Well, there you go. This is GB News Originals. I'm Emily Carver. Please do give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. And do leave a comment. Let me know what you think.
The project is wrong and doomed to fail. And it sounds good, it sounds great, like all civil service initiatives. Let's get shared services. Let's get some equivalent to private sector efficiencies. That sounds great. It's a great strapline. But, again, I read the inefficiencies here. Applicant tracking system, ATS, shelved. Shared services portfolio, incomplete. Project ownership, vague. I want to talk about that in a minute. Risk management, patchy. Managing interdependencies, concerning. Okay, I'd say impossible. That's my view on that. So another question for you is, how can you deliver efficiency across shared government systems when the entire approach to the project itself is inefficient? I don't understand. I mean, I run lots of private sector businesses. I don't see, and you can give me the verbal baby food, Jerome, but at the end of the day, I want to drill down and know, I want to understand. This has been going on a hell of a long time. A lot of taxpayers' money has been spent on this. Our job is to protect the taxpayer, not anything else. The taxpayer wants value for money. So I'd like an answer to that. And I haven't had one yet.
So two things. So firstly, if I can just come back on your previous point about either the strategy is doomed to fail, we don't have the right people in place. I think the strategy is not doomed to fail, and I think we do have absolutely the right people in place. And I might let Nathan and Diane speak, but these are people with deep expertise precisely in delivering this sort of transformation. So I think we do have right across the clusters. And remember, this is
clusters don't always agree with what you're telling us here. The clusters, if you read the report, the clusters actually contradict what's been. So they contradicted what was said by the NAO uncovered that, as they usually do in their excellent reports. So that's not entirely consistent. So I mean, again, if you can't even build and maintain a routine dashboard, which is in this report, as you probably know, I fail to see how you can deliver resounding success and value for money on this project. If you can't even deliver the dashboard, how can you tell?
Shall I? So I would sort of question your assumption there. So I would have said that the dashboard is one of the big points of progress that we've made, actually. And yes,
I don't think the NAO would agree with you.
Well, so that is a development since the last report. It is something that and again, the quality of the returns is now much better. But
and more importantly, you haven't got any one person who's in charge of this project. Nobody gets fired for not delivering. There's nobody. I can't see who's actually. And if you have a project in a private sector company, somebody's given the job, and if they don't deliver to timelines, they get fired. Historically, you haven't delivered timelines. We're reviewing progress, and I can't see any progress. So I think you've seriously, and you mentioned AI, Jerome, I think you've got to sit down with a cold towel on your heads and decide, are you going to be overtaken by the digital revolution, and are you going to eventually do what the NAO did, the National IDS did? Are you going to junk this when you get overtaken by the digital revolution, which I can see happening? Because I just don't see that this is fit for purpose, and I think you're going to waste billions more of taxpayers' money on this, what I call dream, which sounds great, but you're not going to be able to deliver it. So I am seriously concerned, sitting here representing the taxpayer, that you're going to fail, and I think you need to seriously think about that now.
Let me just pick up a few of the points. So the first thing to say is that we made a conscious choice in designing this, that we would take a cluster approach.
You didn't, because you weren't there.
We government ministers made a conscious choice to deliver this via 5 clusters, each of which have an AO and an SRO and so on. So
Jerome, you've been there a month. You've just said so. You're in charge now, but this has been going on a long time.
Yes.
hasn't it?
Yeah, so that's precisely my point. So each of the 5 clusters has an AO and an SRO who are responsible for each of their programs.
I think you all need to sit down and reappraise the entire thing, because I think you're going to fail. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to make the same mistakes that have been made in the past. We're going to come back to this meeting. You're going to tell us, oh, progress has been made a bit here, a bit there. And whoever takes over, and if you plough on with this, I want to see somebody in overall charge of this, not clusters, not lots of different people who can all blame each other. I want one person, and when they fail, I want them fired. That's what we need to start getting in government, and then we might get some action. So that's my view, Geoffrey.
Thank you, Rupert. I think we will reflect very carefully on the questions and the answers.
Rupert Lowe destroys unfit civil servants in parliamentary showdown. Look beneath the polished veneer of British politics, and you quickly discover a landscape dictated by quiet, institutional inertia. Welcome back to Britain Underneath, where we dissect the political power struggles, systemic failures, and hidden truths shaping the United Kingdom. Take a deep breath, settle in, and ensure you are subscribed to the channel right now, as your support is genuinely vital for keeping independent commentary alive and expanding our reach. Let us dive straight into the heart of Westminster, where the illusion of administrative competence has met a wall of blistering parliamentary scrutiny. There is a growing sense of public frustration across the nation regarding how state institutions operate. Behind the grand architecture of Whitehall lies a vast network of departments tasked with modernising public services, handling billions in taxpayer money, and delivering basic operational efficiency. Yet, time and again, reports emerge detailing massive cost overruns, abandoned software updates, fragmented leadership, and projects that seem permanently stalled in administrative limbo. When these matters come before parliamentary committees, the public expects firm accountability. Instead, what usually follows is a polite exchange of diplomatic rhetoric and evasive explanations designed to soften the blow of systemic non-performance. That traditional playbook was thoroughly dismantled when Member of Parliament Rupert Lowe took his seat at the Public Accounts Committee. Facing senior civil servants brought in to explain the ongoing delays and mounting costs of central government shared services, the atmosphere turned instantly charged. The central issue was simple yet profound. Years of promise regarding cross-departmental coordination and digital integration have yielded patchy risk management, incomplete portfolios, and vague operational ownership. Rather than accepting polished talking points about incremental progress, the questioning stripped away the institutional jargon to expose a fundamental structural flaw. For viewers who value deep, unfiltered analysis of British governance, taking a moment to hit that subscribe button helps Britain Underneath bring these crucial parliamentary moments into clear focus. Staying informed is the ultimate tool for holding public figures accountable, so please consider supporting our work today. The debate highlighted a sharp contrast in philosophy between private sector operational standards and public sector bureaucracy. In the commercial world, project management relies on clear timelines, defined responsibility, and direct consequences for failure. When a multi-million-pound initiative misses its markers or fails to deploy basic oversight tools like a simple performance monitoring dashboard, heads roll. Yet within the labyrinth of state administration, responsibilities are routinely diffused across multiple committees, clusters, and senior oversight figures. When no single individual bears ultimate accountability, failures become collective, abstract, and ultimately immune to consequence. When questioned about why fundamental benchmarks had not been achieved, officials attempted to highlight subtle advancements and structural redesigns. They pointed to multi-departmental clusters and complex governance arrangements as evidence of strategic evolution. But this explanation only reinforced the central criticism. If the overarching structure itself is inherently inefficient, adding layer upon layer of managerial coordination will never produce efficiency at the operational level. It is akin to attempting to fix a broken mechanical engine by continually painting its exterior. The exchange grew particularly sharp over the concept of personal accountability. The assertion was made directly and plainly. Without a single named authority who faces actual termination of employment if a project fails, public sector modernizations will continue to burn through public funds indefinitely. The phrase verbal baby food was invoked to describe the endless stream of reassuring managerial jargon served up to committees, while real progress remains invisible on the ground. Taxpayers, who shoulder the ultimate burden of these administrative experiments, are left asking why basic standards of performance seem optional within the corridors of power. If you appreciate this level of serious political breakdown, please take a quick second to subscribe to Britain Underneath. It takes just one click, but it empowers us to continue dissecting the real mechanics of power in the UK. Beyond the immediate heat of the committee room lies a much larger threat to the civil service model, the relentless pace of technological advancement. While internal government clusters spend years debating standardized platforms and writing endless policy reviews, the private sector and digital landscape are moving at exponential speed. Artificial intelligence and modern automation are redefining operational capability overnight. There is a very real danger that by the time these bureaucratic programs finally reach completion, the very systems they relied upon will already be obsolete, leaving behind another multi-billion-pound monument to administrative delay. This confrontation is not merely about one committee hearing or a single contentious exchange. It reflects a deeper structural tension sitting at the very core of modern British governance. On one side stands an entrenched bureaucratic apparatus accustomed to process over output, shielded by collective responsibility. On the other side stands a public and a growing group of parliamentarians demanding sharp commercial discipline, direct personal liability, and real value for every single pound spent. Until the state machinery embraces true accountability, these high-stakes clashes in committee rooms will remain a recurring feature of Westminster life. Thank you for watching this breakdown on Britain Underneath. Make sure to subscribe to the channel now so you never miss our upcoming deep dives into UK politics. Stay informed, and we look forward to welcoming you back for our very next investigation.